Put it on an animated screen or like some bonus tunes or something.
Oh, okay.
Seriously, John, do more work.
I'll have to work that
For our
idea in,
convenience.
actually, of having some little background music play while we have the title card up. That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, and
If I can find like
Yeah.
a 1 hour loop of like the Galaga Enter Your Name music, that would be perfect.
But anyways, we are on now, just an FYI.
Wow. And we got numbers, man. I say we get to this thing right now.
I think so. All right. Here, who's ready for a countdown?
Just
Yes, please.
All right. Let's see. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Game That Tune.
Johnny, what'd you do? You ruined my oh yeah.
Did I? I think I made it way better.
I was expecting you to turn it into a
Yeah, not right off the bat. Oh yeah, everybody, it's Game That Tune back in the house once again. It's your boy John Harrington. It's your interrupting boy John Regan. Say hey. He speaks with his hands, people. We also got your boy David Fleming. Say hey.
Hey.
And it's your boy Jesse Moore. Say hey.
Hey.
Hell yeah, fellas. This intro is going fantastically well for such a spectacular episode that, I think we got a great thing coming up tonight. This is Game That Tune, episode 150.
Friends.
Thank you. Thank you, my friends, for joining us. And what we're going to do is we're going to listen to some video game tunes. We're going to try and guess each other's games based on the songs, a little bit of trivia, goof off, have a lot of fun. The winner picks a theme for the next episode, play some bonus tunes. And the winner last week was me. And there's no real point in discussing what the theme was going to be for this week. We've been really slacking on themes lately. We've done, food games, Blake Bortles games. I don't know. I feel like the themes haven't been where we've been excelling lately. And also, when it's a milestone episode, a fantastic, what's the word for halfway through a century? Like, I don't know, century and a half episode.
It's a great quintcade, like
sure.
quintcade episode.
Exactly.
Man, I used to go down to the old Quintcade all the time and play Centipede. It was awesome.
Yes, exactly. It's our Quintipede episode. And, when it's a special episode like that, there's only one choice, really. And the theme, it's got to be a free play.
Game That Tune. Free play.
Free play. Free play. Needless to say, we're doing a free play. Themes have been bad, we're doing a free play. Games with food, baby, what the fuck was that? Blake Bortles games, time to do a free play. Needless to say, we're doing a free play. Themes have been bad, it's time to do a free play. Ripping that ass, man, what a train wreck. Diddly mobily, keep us in check. Screaming on a Reddit about Dale and Chip. Johnny has questions and we're losing our grip. Alucard spelled backwards is Dracula. It's an episode 150 spectacular. Ooh, do. Some things I just can't refuse. It's time to play some awesome tunes, and Johnny's probably gonna lose. Put your super crown on, crocodile scrotum. It's a free play. A second verse would be too much. There's really rule 34 of the Noid. It's a free play. It's a free play. Yes, it's a free play.
Calculating computer activated.
The whole show's over.
He's already. You just give it to John. He wins.
Yep. We're glitching this bitch out. It's going to be really confusing from here on out, people. It's episode 150. It's a free play. We've got great tunes, great fan requests tonight. I think we're just going to have a lot of fun. So, Johnny, I say we just get it off the ground, man. What do we got?
Game 1.
Okay, so this is the first game in the series to support broadband online multiplayer. All right, gentlemen. You're causing a scene. All right,
wait,
let's see some
I wrote the wrong
answers. John says Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, which is incorrect. Jesse says Sonic R Online, which is incorrect. David
Wish
says
it wasn't.
Eggman Origin, which is incorrect. This is Bomberman Online, which is probably my
Oh, yeah.
favorite Dreamcast game.
That game's
Oh, okay, yeah.
Of course.
Have you guys played
Johnny,
Bomberman
famous
Online?
Bomberman fan.
This game
Ugh.
is a blast. Pun very intended.
Boo!
This game is so fun with 4 players on,
That's better.
a nice big TV playing the Bombermans. It's so good. Have any of you guys played this game?
Yes.
I believe we have played it together simply because it's the Bomberman on Dreamcast. So I'm sure we've played this together.
So yeah, Bomberman for Dreamcast. It's got cel shaded graphics. It looks dope. Looks cartoony. It's great. This introduced a few new things to the Bomberman series. I'm not that familiar with the rest of the series to know what is actually new and what's actually not. I just know it's amazing. It's got all kinds of different modes you can play. Like there's a submarine mode where you drop bombs and they go underneath the stage and pop up on the other side, and then you have about 3 seconds to get away from them. There's a traditional, battle mode, but some of the stages have gimmicks. And one of the stages is the Hyper World, which is the best stage because there's 0 obstacles and everybody starts off with max power bombs and maximum number of bombs that you could drop and maximum speed. And so each match lasts like 3 seconds because everyone just all over the place, and then it's over.
Yeah, so they just take everything away that makes it like a strategy thing. It's like, here, drop some bombs and run around really
Just
fast.
fucking go and pray.
Yeah.
And basically you run and you have to very, very quickly look around and be like, shit, where are these bombs at now? I don't even know. And
Jeez.
maybe you live, maybe you don't. Most times you don't. That's the
that's
best
the
mode.
story of Bomberman. Most of the time you don't live.
Sounds like a good drinking game.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I didn't even know there was a Bomber. The game's literally just called Bomberman Online.
Yeah.
Like, nope, didn't
The
know
on-
that.
And the online's been shut down since 2003 or so.
Oh, man.
Well, it's for the Sega Dreamcast. I mean, like, what do you expect?
Yeah, John, what are we talking about here?
Yeah. That was very disappointing because, like in Bomberman 64, you can customize your Bomberman, but you can only use the customized costumes in the online mode.
That's
Aw.
weird.
Yeah, it really pissed me off.
Usually it would be like the other way around or some crap like that.
right?
Yeah. Because
That's
I guess-
bizarre. Fuck, that guy's my head in a pretzel.
That,
This
or
whole
maybe I
situation has my
just
head
never
depressed.
figured out how to do it, but I'm pretty sure you can't. You can only customize the Bomberman online.
Jeez, man.
And there's a whole weird subculture with that. There was a group of players.
Oh, whoa.
There's a group of players, a clan, I think they call themselves.
No,
that they
we can't
all,
use that word
they would-
anymore.
They would all
Yeah.
go to a match wearing elephant masks, and that was like their thing. Was they all had the
Please,
elephant
John.
heads.
What?
Say Bomber Clan.
No, I will not. I will not give you that
Yeah.
voice sample there. That soundbite.
I get weirded out anytime we get into a discussion of a weird subculture relating to a very specific game, and this one it's right up there. Like, oh, the weird subculture of Bomberman Online elephant mask wearing clansmen. Like,
Yeah,
that's
That's what I was saying. It's
the
like, oh,
title.
this game has like a weird subculture. Oh God, where this group of people got together. Oh God, and they all wore the elephant mask. Okay, that's not so bad.
Yeah.
Like all things
They called
considered,
themselves
like all
the
right.
clan.
That's like now if they only exclusively used White Bomber and called themselves like the White Clan, then we'd have a problem.
Yeah, the white bomber movement wouldn't that would not sit well with me. Oh God. Yeah. So
yeah, apparently I'm playing against Timothy McVeigh right now. Oh god.
wow.
Johnny, give
Yeah.
yourself a Mario 2
I
sound.
was gonna say you're determined to like game 2 yourself. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why this wouldn't be a game that they would re-release like every system after this. Like, was
So
this
what?
like this
Johnny,
Dreamcast exclusive?
Bomberman. Like Bomberman is on every system ever.
Yeah, but I mean, literally, like, here's a nice looking Bomberman Online, cell shaded graphics. It's literally called Bomberman Online. Like, just this I feel like would have been ported forward to the GameCube, the Xbox, everything. I know everything got their own Bombermans. I don't know if they're online or not. I mean, how long has it been since any of us really played a newer Bomberman game?
This is
I
the
want to play
best
the
for
one on
me.
Switch.
The one on Switch is pretty good.
Right. So
Does
I know
it have-
Xavier Woods has a Bomberman character in it.
ooh.
Does the one on Switch have the Hyper Bomber rule? Because that I think was my favorite game mode.
That I'm not sure, but it does have Simon Belmont as a Bomberman.
Oh my
Okay, that's
god.
pretty
Well,
good.
that wins. Wait, did Bomberman become a Konami thing?
Kind of.
Bomberman's. I thought Bomberman was always a Konami thing.
Yeah. It was
I don't know.
Hudson Soft.
Bomberman was
Hudson.
Hudson Soft, and then Konami bought Hudson Soft. That's right.
Okay, cool. That's what I was unclear on. That's cool. Yeah, so they should make like Bomberman Party featuring Konami. And just man, that's a deep well to go into. Like, think about the Ninja Turtles bombing up the Belmonts.
Yeah.
Because Konami totally owns the Ninja Turtles. That's a thing.
Snake.
Yeah, exactly. Snake, planting those bombs,
A pachinko
choking
machine.
out Bomberman.
I'm trying to remember because I know they added a bunch of Konami characters.
Yeah,
Because
there's a-
Super Bomberman R, you can play as like all the different Bombermen.
There's a board
including,
set in a
like,
pachinko machine. Snakes slitting throats and shit.
I feel like I'm trying to look up the list. I know they added Simon Belmont. I know they added Vic Viper from Gradius. I'm pretty sure they added Snake. Like,
good.
it's
Very
pretty damn ridiculous.
Uh,
And I'm pretty sure they added Pyramid Head too.
Bomber
Pyramid Head.
man. Well, cool. While David's looking that up, yeah, Johnny, anything else really to say on Bomberman Online? I'm surprised by this pick. I thought certainly for this episode you were going to go extra special obvious and go with some form of Sonic game. Is
Nope.
Sonic in this game?
No, he is not.
See, that's a damn shame. It's the Dreamcast Bomberman. They could have gotten him.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
could have done it.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
on the decline at that point. Nobody knew. Sega's future was uncertain.
I think this came out when everybody knew what Sega's future was. This came out in 2001, which is pretty late Dreamcast.
Oh.
Yeah, so they could have just like photoshopped Sonic in there at some point and just it's like, oh, cool.
I love that late Dreamcast is 2 years after its release.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. It progressed rapidly.
Listen, David, shooting stars don't last very long, man.
Yeah, we were at stage 4 Dreamcast by that point. There was no coming back from this. Anyway, John, anything else on
Yes. That's my new favorite thing.
Terminal Dreamcast?
No, I'm ready to move on.
Good.
Game 2.
Do you even want trivia?
I'm interested to hear what you have to say. God damn it.
I'm curious what the trivia is.
It's this game was remade for Game Boy Advance to promote the sequel 36 years later. So get the hat trick button ready.
All right.
I say David with the Jungle Book, John with the Jungle Book, and Johnny with the Jungle Book.
Oh wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah. We
You
don't
didn't say-
know
you
if that
didn't
was
say-
correct,
Yeah, you didn't say
John.
if that's right.
That was correct. Sorry, I'm always bad at that. So, yeah,
It was
this is,
implied.
yeah.
Cool, man. I was really happy when that second song started playing. Because that first song, I'm like, all right, yeah, it's just kind of some Genesis shit. And it's like, oh, it's this Genesis shit. Like, oh man, I forgot they even made a Jungle Book game. You know, this another Virgin game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's pretty.
right, exactly. Why? What was their deal, man? I'm trying to think. What's the oldest Disney movie they've made into a game at this point? Was it this? Like, 'cause, I mean,
This
fucking
has to
Jungle
be.
Book came out in like 1966, and it's
Yeah.
I was gonna say, are we including like Kingdom Hearts because they featured Steamboat Willie?
well,
And
yeah, obviously
that's pretty.
not.
Well, Mickey
Okay.
Mania also features Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, I would say probably like a Mickey game by
True.
default has to be like the oldest.
Yeah, but I'm thinking just like specific, like Disney films. Steamboat Willie being a short cartoon or whatever, and featured as part of it. They didn't just make here's Steamboat Willie the game. It's like do they make? I don't think they made like a Snow White or 101 Dalmatians or
They
any of that
have
shit.
made a 101 Dalmatians video game.
no kid.
But I wonder if
Yeah.
it was based on like the live action version as
Yeah,
opposed to
oh,
the animated version.
I don't
God,
think
you get to
so.
kill Glenn Close. Yeah.
Ooh,
Is
sold.
is that movie older than Jungle Book?
I
think
feel
so.
like it is. Yeah.
It's 1961 for 101 Dalmatians. I think Jungle Book is
Yeah.
1963 or 67. I don't know.
Because
Anyway.
I know if I remember, Jungle Book is the last Disney movie that Walt Disney was involved with. Because he died
it
not
shows.
too long after that.
Oh,
Yeah. Let us talk about King Louis and how he
They-
wants to be like us.
They made a specific point to cast a white actor as King Louis because they knew it's like this is gonna read bad.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like they approach Louis Armstrong with the role. And he's like, "What the fuck?" Okay, sorry, Louis. Don't mind us. But anyway,
I think the oldest movie that got a video game was probably Fantasia. Did get a video game on the Sega Genesis. And Fantasia
No
was like
kid.
1940.
Yeah, Fantasia's.
yeah.
Wow, I want to play the Fantasia game.
No,
wait,
you fucking
it can't
don't.
possibly be good,
It-
but I
when did-
want to play it.
It's so fucking
when did
bad.
Pinocchio come out?
Oh,
Also
true.
1940.
I was gonna say
Okay, 'cause there's
Pinocchio-
a Pinocchio game.
Okay.
Second or third release.
That would get
Yeah.
older. Pinocchio's older than Fantasia by a couple months.
Oh wow,
Hmm.
that game
Anyway.
is fucking boring.
But the Jungle Book game, so I never played this one, but seems like it's got the potential for fun. I assume get to play as Mowgli, and I assume you have animal friends. some animal enemies.
You assume wrong.
You know. Oh no!
You're on a spaceship. And,
Son of a bitch!
Oh my god,
Kirk
the
is
Jungle
there.
Book in space sounds dope.
It's basically just Echo the Dolphin.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
By your
Jungle Book
Mowgli.
Tides of Time.
I'd play the fuck out of that.
Unbelievable. But yes, I could see it, this is without the knowledge of what the actual game is. I could see this taking on like a Donkey Kong Country kind of vibe. You're Mowgli, you're exploring jungles, you're riding animals and shit. But I'm betting it's not that, is it?
Not like there is a lot of exploring. You can climb a lot of stuff. You can throw bananas at people. Well, not people, but other animals. There's like a bunch of caws that try to attack you. There's a bunch of like apes that attack you too. I didn't play a whole lot of it because I figured for the free play, since we just got back from Disney, I would pick a Disney game.
Oh,
And I
no,
played-
that's nice.
And I played a bunch of Disney games, and like there's some clunkers out there.
Oh, so is this one of the clunkers then?
This was one of the better games.
This
that
is
I
when
played.
they started getting good.
That's cool.
Like, but one thing was sure, they all were pretty. That's for like the sprites were great. Like if nothing else, the game looked good.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, I had the Super Nintendo. My buddy Alex had the Genesis, and so we each had opposing Aladdins. And for a brief period, I was jealous of him because he had the Genesis Aladdin, and it just looked so much better than the SNES Aladdin. And then I realized the SNES Aladdin played better than the Genesis Aladdin. It's like, okay, well, I'm gonna have fun playing my game. His game's frustrating, but it looks nice. So that's all well and good. I'll play when I'm at his house, but in the meantime, I'm gonna collect every one of these fucking red jewels in this dope ass platformer. So yeah, it's a trade off. But yeah, I like those. I like those Genesis Disney games. That they were doing a good job there for a while. And so you throw bananas as Mowgli. I mean, like,
Yes.
wouldn't you think that his weapon would be fire? That's the
What-
whole point.
He even tells Louis he doesn't know how to make fire.
But the thing they desire is man's red fire.
And
It's
he's like,
the
I don't
perfect
know
way
what
to
you're
kill
talking
all the
about.
animals.
I could imagine like throwing a banana or a banana peel as like a standard attack, but then you pick up a torch as like a power up. Like I
Yeah.
could see that.
Exactly.
But I don't think that his default ability should be make fire because he doesn't make fire.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
still, it'd be pretty cool to burn down the jungle. It's just like a scorched earth move on the last thing. It's like, how do I
you,
defeat Shere
Lord.
Khan? Yeah. Oh, you got to burn
He
down
didn't-
the whole jungle.
The final
Yeah, but
level
then
is
there's
you
no-
running away from all the mistakes you've just made.
Yes.
But then there's no game because it's like, level 1, I burn the jungle down. All right, game over. You win. Like, where do you progress from there?
I don't think you win
Exactly.
when you do that move. I think that's the idea.
No.
Yeah, because you know what happens. Smokey the Bear shows up and eats your ass.
He's
Episode
fucking back.
150, and we're making callbacks.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's about
Finally.
time. Yeah, set them up, knock them down. It's only taken 149 episodes to get enough material to reference.
Do you
But yeah.
only? I have a question. Do you only get to play as Mowgli? Basically,
I-
like at,
Not sure.
I was gonna say, like at any point, do you get to be Baloo?
That would be amazing. I would love any game where you get to play Baloo.
Yeah, it'd be great. He has like tank controls. He's just a giant bear. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I assume he's like a tank that shoots coconuts, but he's Baloo. Like, why
I
wouldn't
mean,
he be?
Because I kind of feel like I have never played this game, but already I'm imagining like a better version of this game where it's like a puzzle platformer where you can alternate
Tailspin?
between like Mowgli and Baloo, and like they each have different abilities, so you have to swap between them to get through the levels.
Yeah. And you can also, for a third friend, you got to have Bagheera in there, man. My man Baggy. That guy's cool.
So really, I guess we just need to make a Jungle Book Disney RPG where you get a party
Oh
of
my
all of your
God.
characters.
Yeah.
And then
I'm
eventually,
into
like,
it.
you can recruit King Louis. Like,
Mm-hmm. It'd be pretty good, man. Like a puzzle-based Jungle Book platformer, like those fucking like Trine games or something, where you got to play together as like Mowgli and Baloo and King Louis and fucking Bagheera. That sounds dope.
Would it be good on
clearly,
Switch?
that's not what this game is. But
No.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think it sounds perfect for Switch, but it's we'll never know because it seems like they don't re-release these Virgin games. Like, does Disney have these locked up in the Disney Vault, or like are they just in release limbo? Like, I feel like I've never seen official re-releases of like any of these.
Of the games? I don't think so. No.
Right, like has like the Genesis Aladdin come out for anything else since back in the day? Like,
Kinda. So
feel like they're like locked in the 90s.
yeah, I think you can actually go buy the DOS version of Aladdin on GOG, which is very similar to the Genesis version. It's not quite the same, but it's made by the same people. So like kind of sort of has been re-released, but not the real true blue Genesis version with like real Genesis sound and all that.
Right. Yeah.
Just hearing the DOS version of Aladdin, I've never been less interested in anything in my entire life.
I clicked some.
Thank you, Johnny.
I watched some clickbait YouTube video the other day of like kids play Genesis Aladdin, and I immediately recognized like, no, this is the fucking DOS version that they're playing. Get this shit out of here.
Fuck those kids.
These guys
Get
have
them out
no-
of here.
Like whoever made this video is an idiot.
Yeah.
Did you
Anyway.
comment?
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
Did you like, rate, and subscribe or whatever?
no.
Did you smash that like button? Don't forget to smash that like button.
Oh God, that's the. I'm so glad that we don't usually fall into those YouTube and podcast traps like that. Anyway, Jesse, anything else on the Jungle Book? I feel like this game has potential. I think we just need to see a re-release, man. I want to play. Well, maybe I want to play the made-up version we've been talking about. I'm not sure if I
Yeah.
want to play the real
I was
version.
gonna say, I feel like there should be a re-release, but we should be put in charge of it so we can make a brand new game.
Yeah, we all like the Jungle Book well enough. And I mean, I was reading the wiki page and it's like, Mowgli can get, boomerang bananas. It's like, no, man. The Jungle Book ain't no fucking cartoon. There's not boomerang bananas or
It's
shit
literally
like
a
that.
cartoon.
Not the new
Yeah,
one.
but
It's an animated film.
It
So-
adheres, to some reality, man. You can't throw a fucking banana and have it boomerang back. You use the animals. You don't use magical bananas.
So
I think we understand the heart of the Jungle Book better than they did.
So
a
Jesse,
pitch for. Oh, go ahead, Johnny.
you're saying this came out to promote that live-action sequel movie that came out in the 90s? Is that
No.
what this
No.
was for?
This was for 2003's Jungle Book 2,
Wait, no,
which
Yeah.
is made by like
From Disney's
Australia
dark
Studios.
period of shitty, awful animated sequels. Yes, that is it's a real thing. It's
So
a thing
I
that nobody
feel like,
fucking cared about, but it's the thing.
I feel like for our Jungle Book RPG, it should be the in between Jungle Book and Tailspin that explains what happens.
Yes, exactly. How do the animals gain access to man's technology and become a new
Where's
culture,
Mowgli
a new
go?
civilization of seafaring, bartering?
Well, It starts with
like
it starts with Man's Red Fire, and then it just snowballs from there.
the thing they decided was Man's Red Fire, and Louis bought the Coco
Now they have
Bongo
a,
Club.
now they have
or
a
whatever.
bar.
Yeah, exactly.
Baloo
No
got a
pants
sweet
for
shirt
anybody.
and hat.
Oh
At a
god! Now
plane?
I'm just imagining like a giant multi-phase boss fight against Don Carnage, like in his airship. Like, we need to make this a thing.
I
They
think we will.
replaced Mowgli with a bear cub kid.
Ah, that would okay. No, we can't get into how weird it would be if they had made Tailspin and just had one human character and it was Mowgli. Like, Johnny, let's keep it going. We'll see you on the post show, folks.
Game 3.
All right. So the developers of this game were actually sued by Pixar Animation Studios for allegedly copying their vehicle design from Pixar's short Red's Dream. Pixar won the case, so as a result, this game was forced to be pulled from the shelves after selling 300,000 units. All right. Let's see some answers. I got my finger on the hat trick. Everybody says Uniracers. Everybody is correct. This is Uniracers for the Super Nintendo. This is our fan request for the week from Damian Beckles, a super fan. He is a super fan tier producer, right?
Give him a my man.
My man.
Yeah.
There we go. That's dope. Man, this game. What a game.
It's a pretty
I
straightforward
want to talk
game.
for a second about that lawsuit. Like, fuck Pixar.
Yeah.
That's insane. So they made a short about a unicycle, and then they decided they would sue the makers of a game about a unicycle. It's not a character. It's not like it's got a face or something. It's a fucking unicycle.
It's a unicycle.
Like,
They sued Rockstar over a unicycle.
yes.
By the way, this game
that-
was made by, at the time, DMA Design or whatever they were
That's
called.
the next point that needs to be talked about is that this was made in partnership between Nintendo and Rockstar Games. Wow.
A match made in heaven.
See, I think about sometimes the alternate universes in which Nintendo somehow like kept these relationships good. Like they hadn't burned their bridge with Sony and made Sony release the PlayStation. It could have been like the Super Nintendo CD. If they could have somehow kept Rockstar as like a close development partner, like could we have ever gotten a Grand Theft Auto on a Nintendo system? I don't know.
Grand
You
Theft
know.
Mario.
Oh man.
Oh.
Or
We-
just
We-
all Grand
we
Theft
got-
Auto games would be actual sequels to Space Station Silicon Valley. Like,
Yeah.
I was gonna say we got a Grand Theft Auto on a Nintendo system. It was Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars on DS, and it was pretty fucking great.
yeah, exactly. And it was exactly like the rest of the Grand Theft Auto games in theme and gameplay. And it's definitely a true and fantastic entry in the Grand Theft Auto series. It's just something I think about. It'd be a lot of fun if Nintendo had kept these guys as like a close bedfellow, because I've been waiting for a while for a actual Grand Theft Auto to show up in a Nintendo system. The Scarface game on Wii didn't cut it. Lego City Undercover didn't cut it.
Can we get
Anyway.
Lego Grand Theft Auto? I mean, I know that's what Lego City Undercover was, but like you rip people apart and like little pixelated like red studs fly out.
Oh yeah, no, it's murderous. You know, it's surprisingly deep and disgusting. You know, and don't look into that at all. But anyway, so Uniracers, man, this game. You know, Johnny, I figure you should have strong opinions on this. They basically made this as a big fuck you to Sega, right?
So you could if you when you go to enter your name, if you put in Sonic or Sega, you got told not cool enough, and you had to go put it in.
Really? That's
Got
so
him.
like weird and dumb. Like I don't know. It's...
Yeah, it's dumb. No, the whole idea of this game was that like Sega was out there making those dope ass Sonic games, and everybody's like, yeah, Nintendo's they got games too, but they're not fast like Sonic games. And Nintendo's like, we can make fast. You want fast? I'll show you fast. Here it is. Splow! It's a unicycle on a fast side-scrolling racetrack. What do you think about that? And it's like, yeah, I don't know, man. That's
a
fine,
unicycle. What the fuck?
It's not a hedgehog. It's a unicycle.
I remember being pretty fun.
It's fun.
I remember you could do backflips and twists and get extra bonus points and things like that. That's about all I remember this game, though. Like, I remember running it once to be like, do, okay, neat, never again.
Yeah, no, that's all this game was. Now, see, Sega could have learned a thing or two, because if Sonic then started doing, like, some sick-ass twists and flips for, like, bonus points, then you really got the 90s just distilled into its perfect form. But, as it was, Uniracers, yeah, man, what a fucking bizarre game. So, did we all play it at some point? I'm thinking David probably played it the most.
So I have not played this game, but when Johnny gave the trivia, I was like, wait, Red Stream, that's the Pixar short about the unicycle.
Huh.
I was like, wait a minute, there's a game about unicycles, isn't there? And that's how I got the answer right. It's like, I know, the only thing I know about this game is that it's a racing game involving unicycles. I don't know anything else.
That's all you need to know, David. It's a side-scrolling racing game, which is a very bizarre thing. So if you want to do 2 players, it's a split-screen thing, because the camera doesn't pan or anything like that or zoom out, despite the fact that SNES could do like sprite scaling. It doesn't do that. And yeah, it's just a fast side-scrolling racing game. There's race mode and like stunt mode. In stunt mode you earn points by doing tricks. In race mode you gain boosts by doing tricks. And it's like, okay, yeah, this game's fast and cool like Sonic, but it also looks like shit. Like it's pretty fucking basic. Like,
do you think it needs to be remade, possibly into an RPG?
Yes, that's what I was thinking, honestly. Like, it needs some nice new backgrounds. I just need some new artwork. But then 2, yeah, you need stat boosts on these unicycles. Like, you need swappable wheels, different pedals, seats with faces, maybe anime haircuts. And it needs a story mode, quite frankly. I need to know why these unicycles are racing each other.
Battle Royale mode.
Super Saiyan
There's no one
unicycle.
riding them.
Would you say that Uniracers Adventures would be perfect on Switch?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Honestly,
Is that the first time we've ever had a game not be perfect on Switch?
Frankly, I don't know. But yeah, no, it is bizarre that it's like, all right, yeah, here's a racing game, and you're a unicycle. Like, are you anything riding a unicycle? No. You're just the unicycle. Like, you could have really added some pizzazz to this with like a couple of clowns or
does the unicycle have a face? Nope.
Exactly. No, which again, that's so bizarre that Pixar could sue them successfully. That makes no sense. It's like, yeah, we have a CGI unicycle for this movie. It's like, all right, cool. This game that we made about a unicycle doesn't have anything to do with that. It's like, yeah, I think it does though. Like, you sued. Yeah. You got any female employees? I'd like to give them a hug. Yes. Those Lasseter days, baby. Fuck John Lasseter.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, is that a John Lasseter reference or a Joe Biden reference?
It can be both.
Yeah. I didn't know Joe Biden worked at Pixar. That's the Joe Biden sound.
Can we please make Colossus the official Joe Biden sound?
Yeah, if he ever comes up again, I'm sure.
He will now.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sure he'll
Next
come up
name,
when we
Joe
bring back the
Biden games.
Perdcast.
oh God, yes.
Oh, yeah,
God, we need the
Perdcast.
Perdcast back. Johnny, anything else really on Uniracers? This dope and fantastic game with a fantastic soundtrack and those awesome extreme SNES fast moving unicycles.
Yeah, I remember having a lot of fun in 2-player mode. But that's about all I remember is running it one weekend, having a pretty good time with it, but being like, yeah, I'll go play some other games.
You know what they should have done? They should have somehow changed the designs and made the unicycles have 2 wheels and released a sequel with Pixar's blessing. That way it didn't look like their unicycle. A 2-wheel unicycle. Sequel's name? 2 Neracers.
Could
Okay.
you have a
One, John.
unicycle?
That sequel should just be called Bicycles because that's
Shut
what
up,
you
John!
just described.
I was gonna say because then they get sued by Nintendo because it's an Excitebike clone.
They could have called it Bi Racers.
Game 4.
right, so this game has 26 different endings. 27 if you count the DLC.
Shout it loud, even if our words seem meaningless. It's like I'm carrying the weight of the world. I wish that some way, somehow, that I could save every one of us. But the truth is that I'm only one girl. And maybe if I keep believing, my dreams will come to life, come to life.
How you guys feeling?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Good. Let's see some answers on this one. I'm expecting 26 different answers. Oh, wait, no. Everybody says the same answer. It's Nier Automata, and they're all correct. Yeah, we're just racking up hat tricks tonight.
Yeah, man.
I love it. And speaking of things I love, Nier Automata. This soundtrack, man. It's a pretty good soundtrack, man. This game, though, I did not get very far in. Like it's
You didn't get all 27 endings?
God damn it, no. So that's the thing. If anybody was expecting a deep dive on all 27 endings of Nier Automata right now, it's not happening. I'm sorry, everyone. What an utterly confusing game. I'm guessing that if anybody here played it, it was David. PlayStation 4 owner Jesse, did you play any in Nier Automata?
No, I never got it. I wanted
shucks.
to.
I was gonna say this seems like the type of game I would play if I had a PlayStation 4.
Right.
I mean, it's a Platinum Games hack and slash starring like a female cyborg with an eye patch. That's pretty up my alley.
Yeah, exactly. Have they been reading David's dream journal? Possibly. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. It's tough to describe because it's not just a hack and slash. It's also got a bunch of like shooty sections, like where you're like piloting like mech things, and so it's got like a little like God, what's the word I'm looking like? Top-down shooter,
Vertical?
Like a shmup.
Yes, I mean obviously, but like you're flying things. It's like a top-down shooter, like for lack of a better reference point in my awful brain, Galaga. But you can move freely and like kind of move around the screen. So it's got a little top-down shooter. Then it'll change from that and become more like a Star Fox kind of thing, where you're fighting a big boss, and and then there's all the on-the-ground stuff where it's hacky slashy. Platinum Games action, and the gameplay, man, it's pretty flashy, it's pretty fun. Like you're playing as 2B, sexy android woman that she is. You also play as 9S, who's the dude, and I don't how spoilery should I be with this, like, because eventually you play as another android as well.
How long has the game been out now?
A couple of years.
Yeah, you're fine.
I don't think it's too much of a spoiler to say that you also play as A2. We all know who A2 is. So sorry for that, spoiling that twist. It's so hard to talk about this game like in the abstract because it's it's set in the future. And actually, so the Nier series, the Nier Drakengard, all that crazy shit series, this continues that tradition richly. We previously talked about Nier and how it's like a weird RPG sequel to one of the endings of the Drakengard games. And this is a sequel to one of the endings of Nier, set in the distant future of like the year 5000 or something. And, humanity had to escape Earth because there was an alien invasion. Some aliens invaded. They brought like a machine force. So there's robots that are fighting on behalf of the aliens, and mankind had to flee to the moon, and they established Yorha, which is the fighting force of androids, to help them sway the battle for the Earth, so that they can eventually return from the moon. And the whole thing, it becomes this prolonged thing.
Sounds amazing.
It's dope, man. That's the thing. And the androids, they start kind of questioning, it feels like we've been fighting a kind of long time. Like, are we gaining our humanity here or what? And then, same question for the machines. The machines are all gaining like a consciousness and kind of forming a society. It's like you run into like pacifist machines down there that, they're like just imitating human actions and like rocking babies and like cradles and shit and like waving white flags, and you can still kind of slash them anyway. It's kind of fucked up.
I have heard that this game gets weirdly existential.
Oh yeah, it does.
Brother, it's a Platinum Games game, so like bullet hell shooting action, like hack and slash, but then like there are moments that make you just go like, oh god,
yeah,
what am I doing?
And like early on, there was the moment where shit really got real for me, because it's like it's a weird game right off the bat. Like I said, you got one of those shooty sections, and you have to fight this giant robot that's like made out of like an old oil rig or something, but it's got like a skull face, and then like all these other Goliaths close in on you, and like it seems like you get destroyed, but then you wake up near the moon base and you go back. It's like, okay, so this is gonna be one of those weird things where like shit goes down, you wake up and just like go back to work as as an android soldier would do. but there's like this thing where you're, going to find these robots and one of them's running away from you and they lead you to this big thing. It's like, oh, Jesus, there's robots all over the place. And then the robots form this big, weird fucking thing and birth what appears to be a human. And it's just like, okay, yeah, this game's getting weird. Like these robots that all look like trash cans just spit out a sexy anime character.
Shit, I would have bought a PS4 if I knew that.
Dude, this game's cool. It's so fucking weird. And then it turns out shit gets even weirder than that. So it's cool, man. I haven't gotten very far in it. I don't remember what happened exactly, but I didn't lose interest in it. I was actually really into it. I think I got lost. Like I couldn't find the icon for the next mission on my map. And so I went and played something else. And as seems to be the case with so many games these days on like modern systems, if I come back to it, I've kind of forgotten how to play it. Like it's pretty straightforward, but also there's a lot of mechanics going on in this game. Like it's the same reason I never finished Final Fantasy 15. I kind of lost the combat flow. I'm like, wait a minute, what am I? Oh, I'm getting my ass kicked. This sucks. Oh shit. I got to relearn the game and I don't feel like playing the tutorials again. I'm going to go play Smash Brothers or Rocket League. That's how modern gaming works now.
What's up, Guitar Hero, old friend?
Yeah. The old standbys. But yeah, man, this game is really cool, and it gets fucking tripped out, pretty quickly. Like shit starts going crazy. There's obviously viruses and things that get inside and infect people and affect your fucking distort your reality. And I like it though because at all times it's not just like getting bogged down with like cutscenes or whatever, like Metal Gear might. It's still a video game pretty much throughout, and it makes it very clear that it's playing with like video game, rules. Like, in spite of everything, there's not a whole lot of long, drawn out, protracted cutscenes. You're talking and fighting, at the same time. So like it keeps the pace up. You don't really get dragged down like you tend to with some of these things, and it's super cool. I'm still tiptoeing around whether or not I want to like spoil some of this other stuff because it just starts getting into like the nature of war and I said, like robots gaining consciousness and
so
desiring death. Yeah, exactly. Like there's some opening monologue I can't remember exactly, but it's like like it's 2B ruminating on God, and it's like I wondered like who put my consciousness in this form, and blah blah, and would I ever get the chance to kill that God? I'm like, all right, this like you're mad at God for making you exist. Cool.
We've all been there.
A good start. Exactly. Like, isn't that all our missions in life is to ultimately be able to kill a God?
Be able to spit
sounds like a Japanese RPG to me.
Yeah,
it sure is.
I was gonna say, it's like, I wonder if I'll get a chance to kill that God. Well, based on what I know of other Platinum games, yes, you will get that chance.
Several
in all
times.
likelihood, yes. But I think actually in this one it might not be. I think this might not really get to probably don't get the stage where you get to kill God. It probably ends more on like a rumination of why I was made to exist in the first place. That kind of thing. But yeah, it's cool. The soundtrack's fucking fantastic. It's worth a pickup of an entire PlayStation 4. John, I'd like you to go to Target right now. Go buy a PlayStation 4 and Nier Automata. I expect a walkthrough video, at least of like the first few hours of this, completed by the weekend. You're not busy with anything else, are you?
No problem. I'll head out right now.
Thanks.
I was just expecting Game 5.
What a good walk cycle, John.
That was pretty great.
I can't believe he didn't actually leave. I really thought he was gone. But yeah, it's a great game. It's a great soundtrack. I've been meaning to use it on the show, but again, I just didn't get far enough in it. And then I saw the Discord today. Like somebody was like, "Hey, I'd like Nier Automata in the the GTT radio stream." I'm like, maybe it's time. And then I think 3 other people were like, "I second that, third that." I'm like, okay, it is time. So yeah, kind of my game, also kind of a request. So this is for everybody who was asking for this. This will eventually turn up in GTT radio. Maybe not tonight, but sometime pretty soon. And yeah, enjoy those fantastic tunes. and I got to go back and work on getting those 26 endings. Jesus Christ, this game! It's so when you say like, oh, it's got some trippy shit and you got to play it a few times, like, all right, cool. And then it's like, it's actually got 26 endings. I'm like, oh, fuck. that's a bit much. But
I really hope that one of the endings is like a ridiculous joke, bizarre ending. Like there was, God, I want to say it was like a Dreamcast game, maybe. I want to say it was one of the Silent Hills, like a weird survival horror like game, and that had multiple endings, and one of them like fucking aliens beamed down to like talk to you and all that. Like, I want an ending like that, just a ridiculous bullshit ending.
And see, I know there are a couple of things that you can do for like quick endings. Like there's literally a thing like you can go into your menu and there's like a memory chip that's always equipped to you, and you can unequip it and it makes the robot shut down. And it's just like, removing the memory chip disables the android, and that's like ending, E. It's just like, what the fuck? Like, game's over. And then there's another one we previously, I think, used Nier for our fishing episode, because you can go fishing in this game. And if you catch a fish and then eat it, it causes your character to die, and that's one of the endings. Because apparently androids shouldn't eat fish. I don't know. But I'm like...
It's like, brief tangent. I think one of the Golden Sun games, like, you can go up to the villain and they'll ask, like, if you want to try to stop them. And if you say no, like, the world ends there, and it's just the game ends, like, an hour into it.
Love that.
I appreciate shit like that.
This reminds me a lot of there was an Adult Swim Flash game called Don't Shit Your Pants that had a lot of different endings. Very similar.
Oh, Don't Shit Your Pants is classic.
Yeah.
Thanks, John. That's the note I definitely wanted to go out on. So let's all go check out the Adult Swim Flash game, Don't Shit Your Pants. And I will go.
Again?
It's called Nier Automata.
And I will go play Nier Automata for at least one of these endings. I'm assuming none of which involve shitting your pants, because the characters don't even wear pants. So there. Johnny, don't bring that up again, and let's move on.
Game 5.
right, so the developers announced this game on April 1st, 2009. The very next day, they released a statement confirming that it's an actual game and it was not an April Fool's joke.
There are very few things in this world that make me a giggling child, that take me to a simpler time when things weren't quite as wild. And one of those very special things that does it every time is a donut and a glass of milk. It makes me feel so fine. Everybody loves donuts, Lord knows I do. Everybody loves donuts, so let's eat just one or two. Everybody loves donuts, Lord knows I do. Everybody loves donuts, so you and I should share a few. Donuts, go nuts, oh donuts, go nuts, oh donuts, go nuts, oh donuts, go nuts, donuts, go nuts, oh donuts, go nuts, oh donuts, go nuts, oh donuts, go nuts. Give me crullers and vanities, comfits and fritters and long johns, please. Don't hold back on those bed claws now. I need me some yum yums and some cream-filled round. You wanna get fancy, I'm right there with you. Let's get some fast knocks and some croquette butcher. If you wanna keep it simple, I'll take a jelly roll, but just don't dare forget about the sprinkles. Oh, if you wanna go for one, you can get a tukali, a croppin', a fashion, a funkin' kukali, a listi, masitas, son homakitas, bonichi, boozy filos, and yao jagui. If you wanna get fancy, I'm right there with you. Let's get some fast knocks and some croquette butcher. If you wanna keep it simple, I'll take a jelly roll, but just don't dare forget about the sprinkles. Oh, everybody loves donuts, Lord knows I do. Everybody loves donuts, so let's eat just one or two. Everybody loves donuts, Lord knows I do. Everybody loves donuts, so you and I should share a few. Donuts, go nuts, oh donuts, go nuts, oh donuts, go nuts, oh donuts, go nuts, donuts, go nuts, oh donuts, go nuts, oh donuts, go nuts, oh donuts, go nuts.
All right, who's got some guesses / answers?
I didn't realize they announced this game that far back.
All right, so John Harrington says Donut County. Sadly incorrect. John Regan says Dynasty Warriors, which I wish was correct. Jesse Moore has the correct answer of Splosion Man.
Damn it, your tags say Dynasty War. Oh, wait, no, that's a different song. Oh, never mind.
I want to know, John, please, based on everything that you know about the Dynasty Warrior series, a hack and slash based upon Japanese history, or excuse me, Chinese history, what game would have a song about donuts?
Let's just talk about your game, David.
Indeed. Why does Splosion Man have a song about donuts?
So, Splosion Man it's a weird game, and it has a very like quirky, oddball, random sense of humor. So in every like level, you have to find a cake, and I know that there was a section. It's been a while since I played it. There's a section where like you find a donut and it plays that song, and I know that you can pick up scientists to be like a shield against lasers. Again, it's a weird game. And when you pick up a particularly fat guy, I know it plays the donut song.
Right.
So am I the only one who has played Splosion Man? Jesse, you got this right. Have you played this?
No, I have not played this.
It seems like a Johnny kind of game.
What system was this one on?
So originally this was released on Xbox Live Arcade. And it's interesting because Splosion Man has never been re-released, at least as far as I know, but they made a sequel called Missplosion Man. And from what I'm to understand, Microsoft still owns like the rights to the original, but Twisted Pixel, the developer, owns the rights to the sequel. So Missplosion Man has been on Steam. They just ported it to Switch. Like that game they're allowed to re-release, but the original is still kind of under like lock and key.
Okay. I suddenly don't feel so bad about having not played it. I thought maybe it was available on Steam or something like that. But no, if it's locked into the Xbox Live Arcade, then I can be forgiven for having not played it.
Yeah, sounds like another Scott Pilgrim scenario here.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
And I'm sure it will always be available and we'll never have any problem accessing it.
Say, that's the problem with digital downloads, but that's a can of worms that we're not going to open.
It's also the problem with just, literally console-specific digital downloads. Like, we just lost all the Wii Shop. Like, the WiiWare's gone.
I'll say
can Xbox Live Arcade be far behind?
So far, as far as digital downloads goes, Google Play, iTunes, and Steam are both great about like if you buy something, even if they pull it, you still have it forever. Like maybe other people can't get it, but at least you still do. The other consoles have not been like that. Once they're gone, they're just gone, and that's it. It sucks.
That's why like I sometimes I'm thinking like I don't need all these consoles. I should sell them. I will never sell my Xbox 360 because that's literally the only way I can play Scott Pilgrim versus the World. But we're not discussing that. We're discussing Splosion Man. And
it's only playable on your Xbox 360.
True. Splosion Man is pretty damn fun. So it's a 2D platformer. And what's interesting is you play the titular Splosion Man who has the ability to explode. And you can explode 3 times, and that's kind of your attack and also your jump.
Well, I'll say.
God damn it.
I can usually only explode once before I need to take a break.
Yeah, I need a nap afterwards.
Yeah. Sometimes I explode 3 or 4 times a day if I'm just by myself, though.
Yeah.
We're never done exploding, David.
So it's your form of jump. So you can use that to like wall jump, and it's basically a 2D platformer. It adds a lot of puzzle elements too. So you have your multi-jump ability. You can use it to wall jump, and then once you have your 3 explodes, you have to kind of like recharge. The whole game is based around like
I'm listening.
John's face.
Are we all just 13 years old?
I'm keen on this. I was keen on the discussion. I didn't say anything.
14, David, please.
So, yeah.
You have to recharge.
Your explosion is like your jumping mechanic and also your attack, because you can go through and you can kill the scientists. I'm just going to like cover John's face on the screen.
What am I doing? Don't react to me.
Too into it, John. That's the problem.
Yeah,
I really
like the sound of this game. It sounds great.
It's like a 2D puzzle platformer, and it's a lot of fun. It has a weird, quirky sense of humor. When you kill any of the scientists and they explode, instead of turning into like blood and guts or whatever, they turn into just like chops of meat. Like legs of ham, T-bone steaks, that kind of thing. Like it's a very
little Mortal
quirky, odd
Kombat
game.
style. A lot of rib cages.
Yeah. And it just has that like offbeat random sense of humor. And I remember this game coming out because this was one of those games. I know the Xbox 360 launched in 2005, I believe, and this game came out in 2009. But like the Xbox Live, it was mostly like, oh fuck yeah, we can play Halo online and nothing else matters. But then the arcade came out, and they're like, slowly there were these drip of games. Like, wait a minute, like as a console gamer primarily, like that's when I started to discover the indie scene. Like, wait a minute, these smaller games are fucking awesome. And yeah, Splosion Man, like it was one of those games that just sort of came out of nowhere. And then I picked it up. It's like, wait a minute, this is a lot of fun. Maybe I don't have to spend $60 on a game. I can just spend like 20 or 15 on a really enjoyable, smaller experience.
Yeah, it's games like this that kind of change your perception about like what's really worth playing on a console, because it used to be that way. Like I want $60 games every time, and it's like, wait, no, I can just like quickly download like a $5, $10, $15, $20 game. That is also desirable because they're putting some work into these. I feel like IGN was pushing this one hard. Like I read IGN back in the day 10 years ago or whatever, and once. And I feel like they really liked this game and were pushing it like, for like their game of the year discussion. I'm like, yeah, it's probably good. Like, but it's just it's a fun new like side scrolling platformer. Who needs that? I've got the new Super Mario Brothers series for my fun side scrolling platformers. Like, it's, there's another reason I didn't feel super compelled to like grab an Xbox 360 and play this on Live Arcade. It's like, this was the time that everybody rediscovered that you could make super fun 2D platformers and, really push it a little bit with that. So, I'm glad it's out. I'm glad it's a thing. It really should be on more things, because that's in my mind when you said Splosion Man, I'm like, oh yeah, that guy. And then I'm like, wait, that hasn't been a guy for like 10 years. Like that's not a thing that continued. Like, I feel like Super Meat Boy, they made a bunch of sequels or at least a few, and Splosion Man, it's like, oh yeah. That seems like, based on my recollection of how hard IGN was pushing it, like, yeah, we're probably on like Splosion Man 6 by now. It's like, oh, wait, no, we're not.
And that's where, like, I feel like it's a weird licensing thing because Miss Splosion Man has continued, and I want to play it because I've heard that it improves on it. But, yeah, the original, I kind of feel like it's one of those games that's perfect for a Game That Tune free play because I could tie it into a theme somewhere, but also it's one of those games where you play it, you talk about it, it's like, oh yeah, that game. Like it's perfect for that just kind of nondescript, non-themed episode. It has a fun soundtrack. It has the quirky donut song. Who doesn't love ukulele music?
And we've still got Miss Splosion Man for our upcoming theme of games in which you splode. So it's going to be good. It's going to be something like this will be featured on the show at least one other time. I like it a lot, David. It's pretty cool, pretty fun.
I really enjoyed that donut song. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it was cute.
It was nice.
Yeah,
I mean,
honestly,
and it has like the main soundtrack all has that like very, I don't necessarily want to call it jazzy, but it reminds me of Team Fortress 2. Like it has that kind of like ambient feel to it. And then you play the donut song and it's just like, wait, what? Huh? What?
Awesome. So, anything else, David, on Splosion Man before we splode into whatever's coming next?
No, it's a fun, quirky 2D platformer, and we can always use more of those.
Then let us splode into tonight's lightning round.
Lightning round.
Well, it's episode 150, folks, and I think you know where my head's at for a lightning round. I have a list of 150 Pokemon scrambled up as scrambled as they can get. I've got the names of 150 Pokemon scrambled into funny, silly, stupid anagrams, and we're gonna go through them. And you have to tell me what Pokemon I'm saying all scrambled up. And we're going to start with David, your first Pokemon, all scrambled up. Quilters.
Squirtle.
That's correct.
God damn.
All right. Jesse, Suave Urn.
Venusaur.
Oh, God, he's unscrambling them very well. He's correct. Johnny, Reach Lemon.
Oh, God, Reach Lemon. John, this lightning round fucking sucks. I got a better idea.
What?
Alright, so this game was a launch title for the PS2 and was a completely different style of game than the previous entry in the series. All right, guys, let's see some answers. All right, let's see here. John says Reach Lemon, which is sadly incorrect. Jesse and David both say Dynasty Warriors 2, which is correct. So yeah, this is Dynasty Warriors 2. It was a request from Mega X Chrono on GDT Radio, our 24/7 radio VGM radio streaming station.
Yeah, check it out at youtube.com/GameThatTune. You'll probably run into Mega X Chrono because that guy requests a lot of songs.
Is he our number one requester or no?
Oh, he's far and away our number one requester. Yeah, it ain't even close. And yeah, he requested this the other day, and I passed that along to Johnny because it's like, this is the first time he's ever explicitly said, like, hey, you guys should add this to the radio stream. I'm like, I'm going to give that to Johnny and make it a request on our episode 150. Because when it's Dynasty Warriors and it's not in our system, it's like, that feels like an oversight. Because this soundtrack kind of rules. We've used Fire Emblem Warriors, we've used Hyrule Warriors, but we've not used the actual Dynasty Warriors series at any point in our show. So yeah, it feels like an oversight.
Kind of had Dynasty Warriors on the show.
Yeah,
maybe if you squint, we've had it.
Is that Dynasty Warriors? Because it kind of looks like Link. Oh, that's a different thing. Man, this fucking game, Jesse. I'm guessing you played a lot of Dynasty Warriors in your day, didn't you?
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, brother.
me and Anthony would fucking play the shit out of these games. We would skip college classes to play this game. It was fucking sweet.
So, tell us, give us the lowdown. You're playing as, magical Chinese people.
Yeah, it's the romancing of the Three Kingdoms, I believe. It's like Chinese mythology and stuff. I'm not sure if it's like loosely based on historical events because, like you said, there's a lot of magic and stuff involved. Early on, the biggest thing you need to know is stay away from Lu Bu. If you see him on the battlefield, just go the other way until you figure out how to play the game because he's gonna fuck your shit up.
Yeah, that's because I mainly know of the Warrior series from the Nintendo spin-offs, but like
what?
I know, shocking. But as I'm sitting there learning more about these games, every single person seems to be like the default is just okay, who's Lu Bu in this game?
Yeah.
Who's the one ridiculous, overpowered, will fuck you up character?
So who's the Lu Bu of Hyrule Warriors, David?
That would be oh god, I'm blanking on his name. I think Volca, the Dragon Knight.
Oh, okay. I thought you were blanking on Ganondorf. And I was gonna say, shame on you.
No, it's one of the original characters. I believe his name is Volca, but he's kind of like the dragon knife who serves Sia.
Nice.
I feel the Lu Bu in Fire Emblem Warriors is probably oh god, it's the samurai from Fire Emblem Fates. Why am I blanking on his name again? I'm gonna have to look
help from us.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's like you all played Fire Emblem Fates, right?
Yeah, right. But yeah, so I thought that these, I think that a lot of the characters in Dynasty Warriors are supposed to be actual people that lived in China in the 2nd century or whatever. According to Wikipedia, Lu Bu's a real dude.
Yeah. Well, there's some characters.
He died in 199.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Well, some characters can use magic and stuff, so
right.
I don't think they could, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there around back then, so.
I just think it's interesting. I feel like China is one of the only places where you could have a game like this, where it's actual historical figures, but they're also riding dragons and using magic. I was thinking, why don't we have an American Dynasty
Oh my
Warriors?
god. And it's just presidents.
Yes, it's just the founding fathers.
Revolutionary War.
Benjamin
Warriors?
Franklin has lightning powers.
Dude, Revolutionary Warriors would be so fucking cool.
Very briefly, Ryoma is the Lu Bu of Fire Emblem Warriors. But now I'm just imagining Paul Revere using a Musou attack where he summons a herd of horses to just charge into you.
So I'm talking about, man.
I want this to exist.
George Washington just grows like a cherry tree and chops it down on your ass.
Was he villager?
Exactly. He gets in the boat and crosses the river, and it just like floods the whole battlefield and it kills everybody.
Oh my god, I want this so bad.
Seriously, it seems like this would have been made by now, right? Like it's not offensive to just do a bunch of old presidents beating the shit out of each other, is it? Like,
well, I also feel like it might not have been a Warriors game specifically, but like they've done a European version where they're like you could play as Joan of Arc, so like
dope.
You can go into like Western history, which
Western warriors and not cowboys. Just talking about European history.
Well, maybe
warriors.
a couple.
Yeah, a couple of cowboys in there.
I mean, yeah, like Warriors games are known for having huge casts. Like you could add in later American historical figures, like throw in fucking Buffalo Bill or
Billy the Kid.
Yes,
Jesse James.
Yep.
Annie Oakley.
They probably don't want to offend a lot of British people, because presumably Revolutionary Warriors, you'd just be killing waves and waves of redcoats.
There'd be Native Americans you could slaughter.
I was going to say, there's also the danger that comes with killing a lot of Native Americans, which...
just think whenever you play as Andrew Jackson, you could use the trailer.
Calculating computer activity.
No, John, not yet!
I seriously, like, I really want a Warriors game based upon American history as viewed by a Japanese maker. Like, that would be amazing.
Exactly. And I mean, that's the thing. By adding in things like magic and dragons, it kind of takes the sting off of killing all those Indians.
I would honestly rethink that, David, because there's still a lot of weird humor the Japanese have over there that probably wouldn't fly very well anywhere else ever.
That's what, like, I mean, look at the Japanese, like the Sunsoft version of the NES Batman game based off the Batman movie. Now, like, give that team a copy of like a high school American history book and say, all right, make a game. I don't know what it would be, but I want to play it so bad.
Yeah. I think it'd be kind of dope, man. It just depends on the period of time. Because, again, like, if you get into, and that's the other thing, if you skirt up against that Civil War, then you're getting into some rough stuff.
No.
So, all the presidents before the Civil War had slaves too. So I mean,
but just exactly. That maybe this isn't a good idea at all.
No, Abraham Lincoln just plowed down waves after waves of Confederate soldiers. That sounds great.
He's attacking people with like his giant hat.
I don't know,
like an odd job hat.
I don't know like what time period we're setting this in, but all I know is that we absolutely 100% have to have Teddy Roosevelt as an unlockable character.
Dude, yeah, and he's just got like super armor, like he gets shot that doesn't even phase him, he just keeps fighting.
He leads the Rough Riders.
He's literally a bear.
With a monocle.
I was gonna say, like, he has his Muso attack where he just summons like the Mount Rushmore side of his face and it just slams in front of him.
He just Smokey the Bears everybody.
No, John, no. Don't drag Teddy Roosevelt into that.
Can we please make Teddy Roosevelt the new like transition phrase? All right, like let's Teddy Roosevelt to the calculating computer.
But yeah, so I think Dynasty Warriors just gets away with it because we're talking about people that existed, nearly 2,000 years ago. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, you can have those guys like casting spells on each other and slashing each other up. Like, there might still be people alive related to like, I don't know, American people. So, it probably wouldn't sit well with like George Washington's great grandson or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Ricky Washington, if you're listening right now, fuck you.
You're an asshole.
Douche. But anyway.
Poor Ricky.
Singling out Ricky like this. I can't believe how far we've come. But
meanwhile, Brittany Washington is like, hey, glad it's not me.
Oh no, fuck her too. We're equal opportunity fuckers.
All those Washington kids, they're all fucks.
Yeah, exactly. All those Washington kids.
Game That Tune, where we proudly proclaim Dynasty Warriors 2, pretty fucking great. The George Washington ancestry. Fuck you.
Exactly. Descendants of George Washington, a bunch of assholes. Johnny, I think it's time to actually go to the calculating computer.
Calculating computer activated. Computers. Beeps.
Space!
Boops. Scoring complete. This game's winner is... Jesse Moore.
Yeah. He should have won last week, so it's time for him to win this week.
Hell yeah.
The fun irony, of course, of doing that fake out lightning round is that we actually could have used a lightning round to end this episode with a tie. But oh well, it's it's Jesse's time, man. What a fucking game! What a show! What a great time, Jesse. What do you got in mind for the episode or for the theme for our next episode?
Well, they announced Borderlands 3, and everyone kind of went bonkers over that. So what about games with guns in them?
I think there might be a couple of those. Yeah, guns. This is going to be a good one for David. I can't wait to see what he picks. Yeah.
Enter the gungeon.
Right. Yeah, I believe that Borderlands trailer. Didn't they say like there's 1 billion guns in the game or something like that? Like, like, please be true.
I hope there's a gun that shoots guns.
Yeah, I mean they showed a walking gun, which was pretty cute.
Yeah.
So yeah, gun games coming next week on Game That Tune. Fantastic. Gun That Tune. Not gonna go there. Yeah, it should be fun. Man, what an episode, guys. What a great time. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. Thank you to everybody who joined us live, for our 150th episode spectacular. We're live every Wednesday at Facebook, Twitch, and youtube.com/GameThatTune. We appreciate you guys all hanging out with us. Head over to our Discord server and join us there for some fun chat. We appreciate you chatting along with us. Thanks to everybody that checks out patreon.com/GameThatTune. It's the home for awesome exclusives. We got GT2 gyms. We got Covered Up. We got mixtapes. We got all kinds of stuff. And you guys just help us out with the show with new equipment and servers and stuff like that. We got movie commentaries. We got one coming up in a couple of weeks here. We're going to do Psy Wing Commander.
It can't be worse than Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
I actually am kind of curious at this point because we're entering the dark ages of video game movies here.
I want to try to find you guys a link of a video compilation of the Wing Commander 4 live action clips because those are so much better than the Wing Commander movie, and they have like real actors in them, like Mark Hamill and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, I love it. They took the game and made it into something much, much worse, as seems to be the refrain with video game movies. So join us for that. In the meantime, we're going to be releasing our Mortal Kombat Annihilation commentary, garbage fire that was. And, just thank you for checking out Patreon. We appreciate the support. Special thanks to the super fans, Alex Messenger, Lance Revere, Damian Beckles, Bradford Stevens, all fantastic guys, all, greatly helping the show. Thank you for our requests tonight. We got one from Mega X Chrono over at GTT Radio. Make a request there. We might get it. We got Damien's request in our email, gamethattune@gmail.com. But you can also find us on our Discord server. Make some requests there. You can find us on Twitter at GameThatTune. You can find us individually on Twitter and make requests, talk video game music, talk nonsense, anything. I'm on Twitter at JGangsta187. You can find John Regan on Twitter at...
Don't at me.
Okay.
JP Regan JR.
Geez, going with are we finally entering the attitude era of Game That Tune? John Regan's turning heel on us.
You can find John Regan at fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. New edgy Regan for the next 150 episodes. You can find David Fleming on Twitter at
DFD Fleming.
Yes, and you can find Jesse Moore, this week's winner, our 150th winner, on Twitter at
Sega_legend.
My man. What do you got for us for bonus tunes tonight, Jesse?
So a guy who doesn't use a gun, except in video games sometimes, Batman has a pretty sweet Nintendo game that David actually mentioned that has a really awesome soundtrack. But I found this dude on the internet named Banjo Guy Ollie, and he does like banjo covers, and it's really good stuff, dude. So it's the first stage of Batman, but all like bluegrassy. It's really good.
That sounds fucking excellent. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I love that. Bomberman Online is copyright 2001 Hudson Soft Company Limited. The Jungle Book is copyright 1994 Virgin Interactive Entertainment. Una Racers is copyright 1994 DMA Design and Nintendo of America Incorporated. Nier Automata is copyright 2017 Square Enix Company Limited. Splosion Man is copyright 2009 Twisted Pixel Games. Dynasty Warriors 2 is copyright 2000 Koei Company Limited.